get mine. You get yours, I get mine. You get yours, I get mine. Alright, then I'm gone. You get yours, I get mine. You get yours, I get mine. You get yours, I get mine. Alright, then I'm gone. You get yours, I get mine. You get yours, I get mine. You get yours, I get mine. Alright, then I'm gone. You get yours, I get mine. You get yours, I get mine. You get yours, I get mine. Alright, then I'm gone. Movie screens, then life's the biggest production, and it's a bitch with a big appetite for seduction. All of a sudden, niggas busting for a big introduction.
Hey y'all, this is Daniel. Welcome to Blunt Talk, baby. How we doing? This is the 23rd episode of my podcast, so thank you for tuning in. Today we got two of my best friends as a special guest. First, we got Schron Blanchard, a.k.a. Next G.
Good, y'all.
What's good, homie? And second off, and without further ado, we got Anthony Latoracca, a.k.a. Muscles.
Yo, what's going on?
So, first question I always do in the podcast is, how's the quarantine pandemic situation, lifestyle been for you guys? How has been the adjustment since the last time we talked on you?
It's been good, man. You know, working out every day, just trying to stay fit, trying to stay ready for when I can get a job. Just got a part-time job working at a private security agency, so we'll see how that goes. But, you know, same old, not much has changed since we last spoke. Family's good, everyone's good. Everyone's healthy, so that's all we can.
That's
really
good. And you got the gym now. That it's looking nice, man. It's looking nice. I'm jealous.
Thanks, bro. A lot of hard work went into building that, putting that together. So I appreciate it.
How about you, Schron?
My bad. I got a little baby brother now, so that's cool. That's been a new thing over quarantine. He's a mean little dude, but love him to death. He's been such a great like addition to that to the family. Awesome. Other than that,
that's
just kind of been chilling, working on music, just the usual.
And you dropped the mixtape too.
Oh yeah, that happened. Totally forgot about that. Y'all need Wawa. I'm gonna censor the title, but y'all need Wawa. It's on my SoundCloud. I'm trying to get up on YouTube. I'm very slow on it, I know, but I'm working on it. Stuff like that. I'm just trying to work on getting more in a routine. Like I said last time I was on your podcast. You're a fantastic 5-star podcast. That just trying to get this into a routine, and it's going on.
How about you, Dan? How have you been
So,
since you last spoke?
I mean, recently it's pretty much been finally like 24/7 back into the basketball grind. I haven't missed a beat. The only days I don't go to play basketball is if it's raining. And even though if it rains, I'll try like if it's like 5 seconds of clear, like no rain weather, I'll peep outside and I'll be like, all right, let me make a run for it. Like I try to take advantage of as much as I can, but it's been bad. It's been with the podcast. Now I got the mic, as you can see. I got it for my birthday. I love this thing, man. This thing is actually pretty nice, and it was like a last minute addition. I saw it like online, and I was like, I need to have it, and it came here like not even like 4 or 5 days, so can't complain about that.
Awesome, man.
Okay. My boy been grinding.
Pretty much. Yeah, I've been grinding, man. It's actually been grinding. I've been messing around, trying to mix a couple songs, trying to see like make a couple like podcast like skit type things. I've been trying everything with the mic. Honestly, I can't complain. Honestly, it works perfect and it sounds good.
All right,
Awesome, man.
my boy working.
Yeah. First thing I thought we could talk about in the podcast today, the first topic, we'll talk about a little bit of sports, since sports are kind of finally back. Not all of them. Some like football's about to start in like a week or two, I've heard. Are you guys excited for football?
I'm 50-50. I'll watch it. I have not kept up with anything that's been going on football wise. Like I don't know if I'm really gonna be that into quarantine football. I'm really not sure.
Okay.
I mean, I grew up watching football on Sundays, so probably gonna end up watching it. I'm not the biggest fan of the NFL, you know that, but I mean, why not? If it's gonna be on, might as well watch it. It's something to do, you know. Spend some time with the family.
Yeah. I agree with you. Honestly, like if it's on, I'll watch the games, but I'm probably not gonna be the person going out of my way to be the first person to watch the games. I'd rather tune in later in the season where things are actually heating up. And I don't even know how the NFL season's working too, because I haven't heard any reports of them doing a bubble or having like just the travel system schedule like they're doing in baseball. So I'm just intrigued to see how football comes back, because the last major sport we haven't seen make a comeback yet. The other one I was thinking is with baseball, for example. Baseball started off really rough, man. Like these players were getting the virus like left and right, and then it would mess up the schedules. Like when they would have a whole week that they couldn't play just because like half the team got the virus. And I feel like that kind of was very like damaging to the season as a whole, because like what happens to the teams that were supposed to play them? Do they just get like a day off, or like do they just like play another person?
Yeah, I don't watch like baseball heavy, but I did hear about that. What's going on over there? Like, what's going on with like everybody's been getting sick?
They don't got a bubble, bro.
I think it was just recklessness on the players' end. You know, who knows who they were interacting with outside of the game, aside from their families and stuff. And honestly, for all we know, the way this virus spreads, they could have just ran out and gotten some groceries for their family, and just unfortunately got sick. But yeah, I think when they the first case was with the Marlins, they were supposed to play the Yankees. No, the Phillies were supposed to host the Yankees.
Phillies and Yankees. I think they were the two teams in that week.
Exactly. It was after the Phillies had hosted the Marlins. They were supposed to host the Yankees next. So the Marlins went back to Florida or quarantined wherever they were. And the Yankees canceled their series with the Phillies because they didn't want to use the same locker room that the Marlins had used until it was disinfected and all that. So they ended up skipping that series and then played the next one against, it was either the Mets or the Orioles. I don't really remember. But I know that's what they're doing if a case or two do pop up of COVID. They just kind of fast forward to the next series and then make it up another time before the season ends, obviously. But yeah, it seems like the MLB has really been one of the only – well, how many sports are playing right now? 3, 4, it's NBA. And
well, you got – in the States, at least, you got basketball, soccer, and baseball and hockey.
Yeah, so I think the MLB was the only one with a case, at least that I know of. But they handled it well. They were able to kind of squash it right away. They had everybody go on quarantine who was affected by it. And, I mean, they played it safe, which is all you could really ask for and really do at this point,
The one thing I'm intrigued is that you can even see some players in the field while they're batting. Like, they'll have their mask on while they're batting. I was intrigued by that. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I could only imagine like doing physical activity in a mask. It probably sucks, to be honest. But
like the couple times I've been playing basketball at the park, there's been like a couple kids that like pulled up with their mask and they'll play the full game with their mask. Bro, they're fatigued at the end. They'll be like on the floor, like heavily breathing. I'll be like, that's what you get for like trying to do it with a mask. Like it's kind of like
I'm not into the idea of sweating into a face mask.
That's why I never got into that. I was like, I'm not trying to put this with sweat because then I'm gonna have to wash it. It's like defeats the purpose. I'm trying to use it on the way back or in whatever.
Exactly. There was one day
to go back on what. No, my bad. I interrupted you.
I think we got a little lag here, but you keep going. It's all right. Not important.
Yeah, we did. I was just gonna say, like, to go back to what you said, that like the MLB is not the only sport that got coronavirus case. The MLS, when they were starting, before they got to Orlando for their bubble, before they had 2 teams drop out because players had coronavirus. So soccer was that one sport that I say did it before MLB.
Yeah, I didn't know about
it makes sense though. It does make sense. Like all these sports teams and like these athletes catching the virus, it's like they're constantly traveling no matter what, unless you do get a bubble for them and just keep them on location. You gotta believe it's bound to happen, but it's very unfortunate. And on the other hand, it is some carelessness on the players, but it is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Speaking of carelessness on the players, did you see that one guy from the Seahawks? He just got signed, and he was trying to bring a girl back to the hotel. And he got completely cut by the team.
It was an unsigned rookie, bro.
I know the NBA bubble was they were thinking about, did they allow that? I know Stephen A was pushing for it.
I think they ended up allowing immediate family to come through as long as they were tested and followed all the safety.
The way it works for the NBA is pretty much if your team made it past the first round of the playoffs, you could have, if I'm not mistaken, a whole guest room like in the hotels for as like from 4 to 6, 7 family members as you
earn
wanted.
your guest room.
Pretty
You gotta
much,
earn the right
you
to
had
sit
to
down.
earn it.
Okay.
That's
All
why
right.
you only been seeing like the videos of these athletes with their kids now. Like it's like you've seen it with people from Toronto and Milwaukee because they passed the first round.
Okay. Great.
That's how I've heard the commentators on the basketball games have been talking about it, which I both think it's kind of unfair because it's at least let all the teams that made it to the playoffs.
I guess the
'Cause
rationale
at
is
that
you're going to
point-
be staying here long. I guess that's the thinking. You're going to be staying here pretty long.
Yeah.
Okay, I
But
get
think about this. At that point, you only got like 3-4 weeks. I mean, I don't know if I'm exactly right, but you got 3-4 weeks of being there. So you're only going to have your family for 3-4 weeks there because these guys don't have like 2 days off in between their games. They're doing day off game, day off game, day off game. That's their schedule right now. They're going more faster pace than the usual playoff schedule.
Ooh. Then, well, I mean, either way, 4 weeks is still a solid. You still get a solid month of family time, and you never know. Like with some people, they do need that, but they do need to just be with a loved one. Period. I think better late than never. I think ultimately, I know it's probably not going to be as much time as if they are going fast. I haven't checked the schedule. I just noticed that like every day. You are right though, because like every day it feels like there's a basketball game on. I'm like constantly always watching the playoffs. But even with that, it's still good for them to let the players see their families, even though it is very short. 4 weeks.
I agree with that. Yeah.
That much, but it's just interesting because at least now you don't have like the players sneaking people in. You don't get any more of those stories, which is unfortunate. I love.
You don't get any unsigned rookies trying to sneak their girlfriend in and they're not getting a contract and getting kicked off the team.
Yeah. Just getting caught. What are you doing? Come on, man. You thought people were gonna mistake her for a football player, man?
That's the best part. He tried to disguise her in all the gear.
Like, you like 300 pounds, man. She's like 120. She $120. Stop it.
I just can't imagine like how that relationship ended up after that. Like the man's bro, if that man didn't break up with her after that or something, that would have been a whole drama or something.
That's a terrible idea. That's a terrible idea. That's not her fault.
Honestly, it's just stupidity.
It is. It's the prime definition of
stupidity.
stupidity.
That sucks for him.
The one thing I've been seeing though with like the NBA is that there's people like JaVale McGee, for example. He was doing a blog like every day in the bubble. Bro, in each episode of the blog, he gets tested for coronavirus. These players are getting tested daily in there.
Wow, it's that tight?
And I guess that, yeah. And it shows you that there's a reason why the NBA has to have 0 cases of coronavirus. When you think about it in that sense, because you're always making sure if anyone misses up or something. And they have a whole, if you leave the bubble and you come back, you got to wait in your hotel room for a whole week.
Wait, where's JaVale?
So they're very serious about it.
See that at?
Who?
You see his blog?
He's got a YouTube channel. JaVale McGee's got a YouTube channel. It's called JaVale McGee Blog or something like that.
That's interesting. I gotta follow
Pretty
that.
funny because the person that's shown on the blog the most is J.R. Smith. So it's like him and J.R. Smith are buddies.
I feel like that's a funny ass duo. That's a really funny duo.
I remember the first episode, JaVale McGee was like, "Oh my God, I dropped my food," and he FaceTimes J.R. Smith and goes, "Hey yo, I know you really ain't gonna eat this. Can I just have it?" And the NHL has been doing a good job. They're up in Canada, which I feel like is a much safer option than being back here in the States because of the situation down here. But they've had 0 cases, and they're already like in their conference finals already. And unlike the NBA, the family members were all allowed to be there after the play-in round of the playoffs because their playoff bracket is so complex. I don't even feel like explaining it, but it had different like levels and stages.
Okay. I haven't really kept up with that, so the best I can say is good luck with that. Good luck with that situation.
Yeah. Did you guys hear about what had happened with the Toronto Blue Jays when they were trying to get a stadium in the United States? Because what happened was that Canada was like, yeah, we really don't want you to bring all these American teams into here right now during this pandemic for the season because they don't, the MLB doesn't have a bubble. So they're doing home games and they're doing like a normal regular season. They had to ask like the state of Pennsylvania, the state of Maryland, the state of Delaware, the state of New York, and they managed to get like a triple A team in Buffalo, I believe, like stadium for them to play. But it took them like a month to find a stadium.
I had heard about that. Honestly, I don't blame Canada for making that decision because, like you said, who would really want Americans in their country at this point? Because
it's not even just that, bro. It's the fact that you have a team traveling from another country. So it's the travel part. I feel like it's the most important part of that.
Well, I mean, it would only be teams from America, is what I'm saying, because Americans have really proven to be the most reckless with COVID, like internationally. Mm-hmm. So even if it was like, say, a country out in Asia or Europe, like I wouldn't blame them not wanting American teams coming out there because like they know that we've been reckless and that we've had the most, either the most or the second most deaths. I think we passed. I think we're the most. So I totally understand Canada not wanting American teams consistently coming into their country, even though no fans are in the stadium. But I mean, obviously they're going to be around doing other things, getting food or going to the hotel, and they're going to come into contact with Canadian staff, Canadian employees. So they're just as susceptible to getting the virus as anybody else is. So I don't blame them for that, especially because it's only the one team. Like for the rest of the MLB, it's easy because the other 29 teams are all in America.
Yeah.
So it's just easier to then contain because then it stays within our borders, you know. I mean, obviously they're being smart too, aside from the Marlins for whatever reason happened with them. And then the Mets, I think, had 2 cases. But it's not a bad choice. I mean, at least Buffalo and that AAA team were able to come to an agreement where they let the Blue Jays get the stadium because otherwise that probably would have thrown off the whole season. I mean, they would have figured it out, but it would have just been weird having one less team play, you know?
It's kind of crazy, though, because the Blue Jays right now are like in the wild card race for the playoffs. So that stadium might be working wonders for them. I don't know.
Yeah, seriously, it could be a host for the World Series. Who
knows? Last thing on like this sports topic part of the episode. What's your guys' opinions on the UFC like Fight Island? Because I love that. I know we really didn't get to talk on the podcast before when it happened because like that was way before like they announced it. I love the idea that they actually got an island for just the fights. They built the stadium, the facility, whatever you want to call it, like in days before the first fight. And how do you come up with that, bro? I don't even know.
I would love to speak on that, but honestly, this is the first I'm hearing of it, so I'll let you guys talk.
Oh, yeah. So pretty much exactly what Dan said. I forget the country exactly, but pretty much Dana was like, let's just put the fights on an island.
Abu Dhabi, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's Abu Dhabi. Let's put the fights on an island and let's just have them as normal. It's been pretty cool. It was interesting at first because you can like really hear like the trainers just yelling at the fighters, and it feels like a whole different experience. And we gotten some like great fights out of it, which is awesome. We had great moments. But we also got like weird stuff like Masvidal Usman, which I definitely think they would have broken them up more, and they would have had them been. I think the ref would have had them be more active if there was a crowd there to boo all the foot stomping. Even though I do like Usman, but it was just all the constant clinching, everything. I think a crowd would have interrupted that. So it's got its pros and its cons, but I think so far it's been like a crazy positive for the UFC.
It's pretty cool. I'm looking at it right now.
They went full in. They went full in, and with the whole coronavirus situation, because they've had like everyone be tested like multiple times. They had like specific rooms for you to like either quarantine or just like the sanitation. I don't know what it's called, like those spray bottles that they have like the sanitation like stuff in it. Like they had they took. I guess I don't know. Like you see in commercials where they put it on to clean objects and things like that. Like they'll have it's like it might be just hand sanitizer, but in a spray bottle. It might be just that, but they took a lot of like precautions or like action towards it, which I appreciated that. But a funny thing that I thought about thinking about it is like, what would have happened if a fighter pulled up to the island and had the virus? Would he had to stay in the island, quarantine all by himself in an island that only has a facility?
I think that has happened. Maybe I don't want to. I'm not 100% sure. I think it has happened. I want to say once or twice, and I think they just send the fighter home. I think they just send the fighter home, or they like quarantine.
Private jet? Like, I don't get it. If the person's got coronavirus, you're not gonna send.
I think they test them like the very. I know when I was keeping up with the Masvidal fight, I know he was getting tested like all the time.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure they just have the fighters get tested fairly regularly at least. I'm not 100% sure on that one.
Okay. Any last thoughts, guys, on the whole like sports section of the episode?
I think as long as teams and leagues and everyone in charge is taking care of the players and taking care of the precautions necessary to minimize the virus as much as possible, I don't see an issue with sports coming about. I mean, it's great for entertainment for us sitting at home in quarantine, us that are now unemployed because of quarantine. So it helps us pass the time. And it was always sports always brought families together, you know. Some families bonded over sports, some families bonded over specific teams. And I feel like this is just a great outlet for a lot of people and a lot of families, you know, in this stressful time. Like I said in the last podcast, I think this is a great thing for society right now. As long as they do it safely, and they also can now set an example as to how to play and how to just interact safely. I feel like it's a great thing that we shouldn't really overlook, you know?
I agree 100%.
All right. For me, pretty much the same thing he said, but I really hope the Clippers win the finals. That's it. Why these spring?
And the Clippers might be chilling because Nikola Jokic might be out for the next game, so they might be cruising to the next round and then cruising against the Houston Rockets, and then
I don't know. I still got the Lakers winning that one, but okay.
Next topic of the episode. You want Houston?
I want Houston, but I got Lakers winning that one.
I was just saying that as a joke, honestly. I don't think Houston can beat them in a 7-game series. Yeah. But second topic of the episode, we're going to talk a little bit about music. First question I'll put up in the air is, what do you guys think is like the best streaming app or service out there for music? No matter the type of music, just means what you think for you is the best one.
Spotify. I mean, I've had Spotify for a couple of years, but they offer so much stuff. Like, literally, I can open up the app, and aside from my recently played stuff, it'll show me that there right away. Underneath, it's got the Made For You section. It's got 6 daily mixes of 6 different genres of music mixed with artists similar to that. And I just like that it gives you a different variety every day. And it updates it every day. So you get different variety of artists, and then whatever genres you had been listening to like recently, it'll include those. So it's like it's got every single one of your vibes in here. Like, it's got the hip hop vibe, it's got the gym vibe, it's got like everything that you could possibly need here. And then obviously it recommends podcasts, and they have a special page called Just For You or whatever it is, or like Made For You. And it's literally just a mix of, say, like all 6 of your daily mixes into one thing. And it also recommends new music to you, gives you recommendations on genres you had listened to aside from the daily mixes. It just has so much that you can do on it. I like it a lot. I mean, I'm sure I have Apple Music as well because, you know, student discounts, so I was like, why not sign up for it? I'm sure they do the same things. I just never really explored the depths of the app. So I'm sure
that's where I'll have to mention something is I had Apple Music for the longest time. And ever since I switched to Spotify, I enjoyed it more in the sense that what you just went off about, the whole curation to what you like to listen on, and specifically the mixes that they do every day, and they rotate and they switch, and it's basically like by different vibes. It could be like your gym music, it could be like rock music, it could be your rap music on each individual mix. Apple Music didn't really do that much in like the mixing or making a playlist for you department, in my opinion at least. It worked more as just like, you either make a playlist yourself or have all your likes and then just shuffle, rotate, or create as many playlists as you want and things like that. Add all the other features like for podcasts or for like where you could search like the top music happening or like their created playlists that they have, but they were not good at all in my opinion on the curation or a more sense like the what do you listen to aspect of it.
I'm like somewhat bougie, so I have experience using Tidal. I'm like one of the few people on the planet that have experience using Tidal. I like a lot like the Spotify thing. I like Tidal's like playlist curation. I don't know if they change every day. That's really cool for Spotify. That's dope. That's a dope little feature. I don't know if Tidal's does, but I do really enjoy their playlist. And I really enjoy this. I don't know if their sound is just louder or is the quality of sound. I don't know. Maybe it's just louder and they're lying to me. But I do like how the songs sound through the app. But I would say more than often I would use Apple Music. It's just that right now I don't feel like paying for Apple Music. Like my subscription right now, I was like, I'm okay. Right now I got Tidal for free. So I'm just kind of like just chilling with that until I get bored of it, and we'll see. Because I always bounce around. You guys know me. I just bounce around these new things. One moment I'm on Apple Music, one moment I'm on Spotify. But right now, I'd say Apple Music is my favorite all around, but Tidal's definitely like really, really dope. I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on it.
Yeah, you had actually talked me into checking out Tidal once, but isn't it like $15 a month?
Dude, it's so expensive. It's like $10 for like a regular. It's like $10, $11 for like a normal subscription. It's like
that was the only thing that really held me back because I remember you were saying that they had Jay-Z on there a lot. It's by Jay, actually. You said
they had like
it's a Jay
like all
company
his
or
early
something.
stuff. I was like, I needed that.
exactly, and that's why I wanted to do it. But I was like, do I really want to pay an extra $10 to $13 a month just to listen to one guy? You know what I mean? Because I mean, obviously, everybody else is on other services, but Jay is the only one that really kind of limited himself to just his own streaming service. But also another thing I like about Spotify is for the student discount, it's all still $5.99, and then they include the limited Hulu, so you could literally watch whatever you want, obviously with commercials, but like up to like 90 or 120 seconds worth of commercials, which is nothing for the price you pay. They also give you, I think it was stars maybe, but I never really activated that. But there's just so much they offer with just $6 a month.
Yeah.
And it was just like kind of a hard deal to pay. Like I never used Hulu. I didn't start using Netflix until college, and I didn't start using Hulu really until like this past school year with you guys when we were watching occasionally. And then I didn't start watching stuff until like I found old shows that I liked as a kid. I started watching them again through quarantine on Hulu. Otherwise, I probably would have never used it. But it's just a great thing to have in the back of your pocket, you know, just for having a subscription to a great streaming service, you know?
I will say that I do enjoy that about Spotify. Is it comes with a lot of extra add-ons. It's not just the music app. It'll come with like the Hulu, as you said, which is mad clutch because basically you're paying, as you said, the $6.99 for not just the music app, but for a streaming service for movies and shows too. I wanted to mention, I've started to be a big SoundCloud person recently during the quarantine. There was a period of time where my Spotify account, there was an issue with it. So I was like, well, I can't listen to music. Let me go to SoundCloud. And I just like went through all my likes, and then I saw like that I have like a playlist with some of my likes, like the ones that I've listened to the most. So I just added that and I just put that on shuffle, and it worked perfectly. And it's got to be the SoundCloud account that I have, because I don't, like you guys mentioned to me the other day, I think it was Schron, apparently SoundCloud has ads. I've never experienced that in like recent, like last couple years.
The ads are awful on SoundCloud now. I don't understand why. I think because you started paying for a subscription so you could post and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like they want you to sign a student deal. I don't know what that offers, but the ads are atrocious.
They're terrible.
Like when I was trying to listen to Schron's mixtape, bro, literally between songs, I was stuck like just driving for 2 minutes straight with commercials. Like you don't mind that when you're watching the TV, but trying to listen to a song, it reminded me of like when I first got Spotify before I started paying, they also have commercials obviously, but they weren't as bad. It's just commercials are more annoying when you're trying to listen to music, I guess. But the commercials are so long on SoundCloud.
Yeah, that's the one.
I feel like SoundCloud loops the commercials by mistake. Like I always have to like close out the app and go back into it. Like that's how long the commercials are.
But no, the thing is for me too, on the screen, like you could play a song, you're like, all right, I'm about to change it to the next one. but then it'll pop up and like it'll give you the ad to subscribe to SoundCloud while it's playing a commercial in the background. So I'm telling you, they didn't do that on accident. It's literally just so that they emphasize that, okay, if you don't pay, we're gonna give you an extreme amount of commercials right now.
Yeah, they're trying to
They're trying to hustle.
Trying to bully you for your money, man.
Your money.
Like it's as soon as you open the app too. Like watch, I'm gonna open the app and it's gonna give me a commercial. I mean, the ad to like pay.
That would make sense why SoundCloud for some people like that, because majority of the people don't pay for SoundCloud. That's just like, so
Here we
that
go.
makes sense. That's crazy. That's actually what?
It says try Go Plus for students to get access to every track on SoundCloud ad-free offline for 50% less. Let's see how much it actually is. I'm kind of curious.
Probably be like $9.99.
Watch it like start charging my account without me even like saying to do it.
Like $20.
Bro, you get 1 month free and then it's $12.99 a month.
Sheesh.
Oh, there's a limited one where you can pay $6 a month after a free week. Wow. See, I don't use SoundCloud enough to really want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I love DatPiff, the DatPiff app though.
I've never actually grown into DatPiff.
For like mixtapes, it's undefeated.
OG.
That's like the OG music downloading spot too.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you didn't use LimeWire, you went to DatPiff.
There was another one that like it wasn't even that popular, but I remember like I think it was junior year, senior year. I downloaded it. I think it was called Musically, or I might be wrong on the name. I don't know if it rings a bell for any.
Like a TikTok essentially.
I might be confused. It had like a purple logo on the App Store, but it was more like a DatPiff type SoundCloud type thing where it was more for like underground or slash like non-mainstream projects or albums and things that you couldn't find on like your Apple Music, Spotify.
I get what you're saying.
I was able to find like all the old J. Cole mixtapes on there. That's the only reason I had the.
I've never heard of that. That's very interesting.
I forgot the name. Later, I'll do some research if I can, because I can't think of the name right now. Spinrilla. I think that's the name.
Oh, I remember you repping that heavy for a little bit, actually.
Let's look up Musically, and it's like comparing it to TikTok and stuff.
Then it's not Musically. Then I don't know why that was the first thing that came up to my head, but it's definitely I just googled it. Spinrilla. It's good for mixtapes, really, but besides that, you're not gonna find like all your like mainstream artists like Drake or like those types. That for that, just go for your Apple Music or Spotify or Tidal even.
Speaking of mixtapes, do you see that Lil Wayne remastered No Ceilings? And
yes, I haven't listened yet. How is it?
Great. It's the same, but he just changed the names of the songs. Like he shortened them or added something stupid to it. But it's like just the same thing.
No big changes though.
Like literally, No Ceilings is like the main reason why I have DatPiff, because you couldn't really get it anywhere else aside if you like YouTubed it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd always go on there, or SoundCloud too. You could get it on there, but DatPiff is great for that. Like there's old Fab mixtapes, old Lil Wayne mixtapes, old like everybody, Rick Ross mixtapes. Everybody's on there.
My old Chicago mixtapes back in high school, man. Listen to all my Chicago rappers. Go back to
that drill music.
Yo, drill music, fantastic. Prime Chicago drill, that was great period, great time.
Chief Keef.
Look, man, Reese, you had Bibby, you had Dirt.
I remember Bibby off the Double XL freestyles, and I never heard of that man ever again.
You heard of who?
Bibby.
Oh, Bibby? Nah, Bibby's nice, man. Bibby, you be sleeping on Bibby.
Okay.
Sleeping on Bibby. He's nice.
He was featured in some Keef songs, right? Bibby, you said?
I wouldn't know.
Maybe. Honestly, I don't remember. Like, if you asked me a couple years ago, I'd be like, I'll probably be able to tell you, but right now I don't.
Okay.
It's been too long. Now it's New York drill. You have to keep this new wave, man.
Have any of you guys catch like the recent double XL like freestyles or ciphers they've released? Because I didn't even think they were doing it, but I haven't.
I saw some of the freestyles.
Some of the freestyles.
Some of them were really bad. Some of them were really good though.
I stopped checking them out after 2015, 16 maybe. I don't know. With this new generation of music, I just don't like it at all. So I really
like the last one I'd remember checking like generally was the Denzel Curry Lil Uzi Vert one. That's the last one that I was like, okay. I forget what year. I think it might be 2017 or 2018.
One of those years I just ended up stopping because I just really don't enjoy this music.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny because they were doing
all the time.
What happened?
Bars. And he's nothing but bars.
Seriously. I need words, man. I need sentences that have structure.
coherent sentences, concrete sentences.
Precisely.
But I found it funny because the first thing that they released, like the Double XL YouTube channel, was like they were doing mean tweets. Of the artists were doing mean tweets. I was like, man, why are you having these people do mean tweets? Like they're not. You really can't like. It don't work. It's not like an actual celebrity. Like a rapper gonna read a mean tweet. He gonna say something like, "Oh my god," like.
It's not like it's actual celebrity. It's funny. People just like to watch it and see how they react to like criticism. Some of them react very well. They're pretty funny. Like I saw that video. Some of the rappers are pretty funny. I forget the names because a lot of them. I know Jack Harlow's on this one.
Jack Harlow, your boy, bro. That What's Poppin' song really got him.
I said, man, I ain't gonna say it because nobody gonna believe that I said it. But,
no, you do. No, you can say it. I believe you. You've been trying to put me on Jack Harlow since the first day. I remember what was the name of the song? Is it Sunset or Sundown?
Sundown. Sundown.
Sundown.
Every
time you would play that back at Westville, it would just like be like in the back of my head, like something would be like triggered or something. I would just have to go crazy, like jamming to
that. I'm very happy that he's dope. He's a dope rapper. So It's always good when dope rappers become successful. Hopefully he can follow this up.
Yeah.
I would hate I hate when any rapper becomes a one-hit wonder, even rappers I don't like.
Yeah. What you guys would say has been your favorite or you think is your best music project, album, EP, song, whatever of 2020 so far? It doesn't have to be any specific, like it can be any genre. If it's classical music, bro, spit it out.
Y'all need Wawa.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. I don't want to be biased, so I was gonna say that too. Honestly, everybody needs Wawa. Everybody needs that tape by a great rapper.
I really don't know.
He's so handsome, so beautiful, so good, so talented.
Agreed.
He does.
Bro, I'm telling you, like every song in that tape, Schron, legit needs to have a music video.
Thank you, I appreciate that. But I'm go back to my humble tip. Just please listen to my mixtape. I hope it's good. I hope you enjoy it. Put the link in the description, please.
It'll really be there, so don't worry about that.
I really don't listen to any other 2020 music. I don't really know much about, like I said, this modern age of music. So all I know is y'all need Wawa.
I was gonna say, does it have to have come out? Does it have to be new?
I was just saying in general, like in 2020, because the reason I asked this is because I feel like this has been a weird year for music, no matter the genre.
Y'all might be surprised, but this album is dope. Lil Baby, My Turn. I've really been liking I do like the album. That's a good album.
I'm lying. I do know some music now, but I hadn't thought about that for a second. Because when I would work out with my friends, they put it on. And there are a few songs on there, like Same Thing. Whatever the song is that's after that, those are really my only two that I like from that album, but they're pretty good. They're not bad.
Whose album?
Lil Baby.
Lil Baby.
The new one he did?
I did enjoy that one.
I did not check that out, actually.
Same Thing and Emotionally Scarred are my two favorite off that. He's also got Lil Wayne on here. I actually haven't even noticed that.
It's a little cliche now, but We Paid was a banger when I first heard it. That was amazing. That was like every time you're in the car and the homies in the car, that song come on. As soon as you hear that whistle, you just go off. Yeah, I think he got Lil Wayne on commercial. No, he's got Uzi. He got Lil Uzi on commercial. He got Wayne on Forever.
He's got Uzi and Wayne in the same. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to check that out.
He
Sure,
got some good tracks. I really do like it.
Okay. The ones that I can like think of that stand out for me, this whole quarantine, I've really been listening to a lot of Roddy Ricch for some reason. I feel like he's kind of melodical and like the good vibes that he can do on songs. I don't know, it just works for me with basketball. This last project, I can't think of the title, but like half the songs are all in my playlist and they all like instant like plays when I get to the chord. There's the Logic dropped his last album. I must say quote unquote last album because you never know with these people when they say last album.
No rapper ever retires.
Exactly. So that was the reason I mentioned this because I was impressed because I've been so used to Logic's recent discographies just being like not even like they felt like he didn't put effort in at all. Like he would just like rap like a half-ass like attempt at a song, but like this project actually made me be like, okay, so this is what happens when you give Logic no idea to produce a whole album.
I've never really listened to like a full like Logic project, so I guess that would be a good place to start. So I'll check it out. I've been meaning to. I've been trying to like listen to like a bunch of everybody's album, but it's just so much.
I wouldn't say check the whole album, honestly. I'd say focus on the first half more than the second half.
Okay. All right.
He did the whole point of like his album was like he was trying to make it like he's like you know like in the walkie-talkie / like a speaker intercom, like when you're sending a message or you're talking to a bunch of group of people, like the way it sounds, like the static key, I guess you could call it. He did like that for at the end of each song, like he was like saying, oh, this album was made in a week, blah blah blah, and like in another song would be like something, oh, this is the first time he has no idea in an album since his first project, that's why he wanted him in his last. Like it was like just like little tidbits like that, and I was like, okay, that's interesting. But there's some songs that are actually pretty good. So I heard
I'm a fan of Logic, so
he's really hit and miss for me, honestly, because like I've given him like a chance every time that he drops a project, but like most of the time so it'll just be like like I'll like some of the songs, but I won't be crazy over the whole project.
that makes sense.
Especially when in college they were playing it at parties. I think it was 44 More. That song would annoy. Oh my goodness, bro. It was like half the song is him repeating the same word like 5 times. I'm like, bro, say something different, bro. I really can't think of like any other standout projects, in my opinion, right now from like 2020 or like any songs like.
I like the new song Cordae just dropped. I think he has a feature on. I think it's Cordae and Roddy Ricch actually. I think that's the feature.
He dropped a new single?
Yeah, with Roddy Ricch.
Okay.
I think Roddy Ricch.
Okay.
Let me check. I can check that.
Is his last album or his last mixtape, whatever it is, was it
Cordae?
Yeah, is that this year?
Was it this year? Yeah, it was this year.
Because I like that mixtape. Like after you put me onto it, I started listening to more during the quarantine, and like the whole tape is actually pretty nice.
Oh, Lost Boy. Lost Boy was last year. It was summer last year.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
But I know a lot of people have been talking about it more recently. I understand what you mean. Because like a lot of people have been talking about it more recently. I think it's been winning awards. I think it has. But yeah, Cordae dropped a song with Roddy Ricch. It's called Gifted. And I really like that song. That was a good song. I think it's got a music video out too. I never saw it though. Okay. So I'm definitely probably gonna watch this. We'll probably watch that after the podcast.
Mm-hmm. You guys got like any last thoughts on the whole music section we're doing right now?
I like older music.
Next G. All the time. Every time.
All day, every day. Next G.
Best rapper
24/7.
Best rapper on the planet. Get at me. Let's freestyle.
Best rapper alive.
Spit up for a quick 4-bar for us right now.
Oh, you gonna put me on this spot? Drop a 4-bar, make that ish hot. but I do this shit because this is hip hop. Macho Man, Randy Savage, cream with the crop. I could roll down Venice in the drop top. Cool. You better get the reinforcement. Call the troops, cause
I
I'm
chill,
ball like a
chill.
dog, like
I
a
said
young
4 bar.
kid.
I didn't say 8 or 12 bar.
Man, we don't got enough time for that on this podcast.
Yeah.
My bad.
How about like with this quarantine? Like, have you guys Ant? You mentioned that you were seeing a lot of shows during the quarantine. Like, what were your standout shows or like movies that you peeped in the quarantine?
24. It's a show about this fictional federal agency called the CTU, it's a counterterrorism unit.
Okay.
It's actually, you're going to think it's cliche because I like law enforcement stuff, but it's actually a pretty interesting show. It's got a good story to it. Always keeps you on your toes. I was watching that with my girlfriend the duration of the beginning of quarantine. And then right before she went back to school, we started watching Prison Break. And now she's in a grad program. And now they just got moved to online. So I think we're going to start watching that a little more through FaceTime when she's free. But yeah, 24 and Prison Break. They're both on Hulu. Like I said before, Hulu is great. But yeah, that's really what I've been doing. I'm playing a lot of COD. Other than that, those are my 2 shows.
Okay. I do like a lot of like the police / like detective or like investigation crime scene type shows. Those are actually really good shows. So I'll definitely. You said what's the name again? Not Prison Break. It's
There is Prison Break, but it's also 24 is so much better.
24.
I'll pull it up on Hulu on the phone right now. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
So you can look it up later.
I'll definitely check that out then, because I just like I like to see how the people analyze the situation or how they investigate the whole scene. That always like intrigues me. That's me just personally.
Oh,
How about you, Schron?
This show, he literally is fighting a terrorist attack in every episode. But each season it's called 24 because it's 24 hours of the day. So each season is 24 episodes of 1 hour. So like the first episode will be like 5 a.m. to 6. The last episode will be 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. And he has to just fight against this terror group, whichever one is going on.
That's insane.
And it's really good. It's really interesting. There's a lot of cliffhangers, but they're really good cliffhangers. So.
Okay, I'm actually gonna watch that now because the man's fighting 24 different terrorist attacks like in one day. That's kind of insane.
I'm leaving out some details so I don't ruin it, but it is
okay.
phenomenal show.
Okay.
I don't even know how to share this through the app, so I'm gonna send you a screenshot.
That's fine. I have Hulu. I'll just be able to search it. How about you, Schron?
What have I been watching?
Yeah.
Well, other than Star Wars, I was watching a little bit of Star Wars, the original trilogy with my family. I've been hanging out with my little brother a lot, and he's been really into just getting me to watch like superhero cartoons. So I'm like, all right, let's go with that.
Wait, at first I thought you meant like your newborn brother. I was like, what? I was like, what's going on?
No.
I thought the same thing. I thought the same thing.
No, there's another child. There's a younger brother, not a baby brother, but a younger brother. Yeah,
I forgot for a second.
So those like the only real, I guess, shows I've been able to really watch. I haven't been watching anything. Just a lot of music, video games, and going outside. Surprisingly, I've climbed like 2 mountains the past couple months, and it's very weird. I don't climb mountains, so it's weird to do that and go hiking and stuff. So, but it's fun.
It's good exercise though. I like hiking every now and then when you get a chance.
It really is. It's really
a lot of hiking.
A lot of exercise.
Yeah,
I don't remember the last time I hiked though. I actually am blanked on that. But I remember back when we were in college, legit, if there was an opportunity to go on a hike or something, I'd be like one of the first people to go on that.
Yeah, I was not. I was never one of the people who wanted to go on a hike. Apparently now I am. I'm just going on hikes now. So
okay.
I'm gonna join y'all. We're gonna get you up here. We're gonna find some mountains. All right, we got it. Hey, you're coming too. We're gonna find you. We're gonna find you.
Dude, I'm more free now than I was those other times you guys called me. You guys always called me last minute. That was always your issue. You guys called me the morning of. You'd be like, yo, we're getting in the car right now. Let's go. It doesn't work.
Yeah, just a little bit.
It was
Man,
like
'cause sometimes like you get pop in your head, you gotta be ready. You gotta be ready.
it was always the days that like something serious was going on. Like maybe the day before, the day after, if you hit me up, I'd be like, all right, let's go right now. Like pick me up in an hour, I'll be good. But literally the days you guys chose to go, I was always doing something that was planned out ahead of time.
That's really bad timing, but that's all right. Don't worry, we'll get you. We'll get you one of these days. We'll figure it out.
Keep me in the loop. We'll get Dan up here one of these days.
Well, I'm down with it. The more hiking, the better. I basically binge watched in like a whole week, in like story order, all the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like all the superhero movies, basically.
So you've been living it up on Disney Plus, is what you're telling me.
Pretty much a lot of Disney Plus, to be honest. I rewatched the Clone Wars again, and like no.
Are you genuinely surprised?
I watched both Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I watched the sequel, which is it's not as good as Avatar: The Last Airbender, but that was only like 26 episodes. It wasn't no big deal. Huh?
You talking about Legend of Korra?
Legend of Korra. I liked it. It's different though, because I like how they made it into like what it is, because it's years after what happened in the original show. But I don't know. I feel like it could have been like there could have been a better like character development or something. It's just it didn't work the same way I thought the Avatar: The Last Airbender worked, because with Avatar it was the whole show was like the start to finish was like the buildup of like the main character's like what's it called hero's journey.
Mm-hmm.
And like Legend of Korra's each season was a different like enemy. It was like a different boss battle at the end, and I was like, okay, I get it why you're doing it like this, but I don't know. You could have done like a better build up. I didn't like the build up. That's how I'll leave it at.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what else I watched. I watched a lot of Wipeout, actually. I don't know why. I watched a lot of Wipeout. I was just cracking up every time I was watching the people just like fall on the water and everything.
Wipeout.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't expect Wipeout. Okay, I see you. A man of culture, I guess.
That's pretty much for me though. Like now that the NBA started, I stopped kind of binge watching shows or movies, and I went more into sports.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of weird now because with the pandemic too, like new movies and things like that kind of stopped, in the sense like production stopped for most of the filming companies. Mm-hmm. So we didn't get that much new content too.
Yeah, it's true. Except for like the handful of movies that came like directly to Disney Plus or whatever they did.
Bro, my mom is very upset because she wanted to see Mulan with all of us, mm-hmm. and then like the day before its release, like I tell her, "Hey mom, like we're gonna have to pay $30 even though we have Disney Plus," and she's like, "What?" Because apparently it's like the Disney Plus is now doing like a premium type service or something. So like specific movies or things, if you want to watch them before they become. If you want to watch specific movies before they come out, you gotta pay like a premium price. So Mulan's $30, bro.
That's pretty wild.
Whoa, I like Mulan. I don't like Mulan for $30 though.
I saw a tweet, bro. Like it was like the Disney Plus account on Twitter saying like Mulan will be blah blah blah, explaining that after December 14th it will become available to all normal subscribers of Disney Plus. The person quote tweeted it saying, "I guess it comes out December 14th."
Yeah, I guess it does, because I'll just wait that one out. I'm okay, man. I'll watch animated Mulan. It's just as good.
Yeah. The Hamilton musical was one thing that my family watched together though as soon as it came out, because my parents are big fans of it. So as soon as the day it dropped for Disney Plus, that was one thing we watched.
Yeah, my family watched that too. I'm not a theatrical guy.
Me neither.
But I couldn't bring myself to do it. My entire family watched it. I watched a few minutes and I was like, I just don't like this.
Hey, I will say their rap cadences, their rap flows were like close to next year. I thought they were biting. I thought they were stealing a couple of Schron's flows out here.
Damn, bro, he said you're on that Hamilton level.
Trying to say, Dan. Trying to say, high school, or a high school musical type dude over there. Huh? You trying to say, man?
Nice, Zac Efron.
Any last thoughts on the whole like movie show section?
Make more movies. Don't make them $30. I'd like more movies Disney Plus, but maybe for like $10, I'll pay you extra 10.
It's ridiculous, bro. I don't understand how you're gonna sell that for because if you go to a movie theater right now, like it's what 18, 15, 20. You ain't paying $30 for a ticket.
First of all, I'm just off the fact that I'm already giving you money each month and you want an extra 30. Nah, I'm all right, man. Yeah, that's too much. That's too much weight.
I guess if you think about it this way, like for a family of 4 that wants to watch the movie when it comes out, if they're paying $30 for the Mulan for Disney Plus, they're saving money and Disney would be losing it because you could have a whole party of your family watching the movie instead of paying $12 each. Say like you wanted to bring 4 people, then it's what's that, $48.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. Now that you mention that is true. Because easily you can just be like, okay, I'll pay the $30 and then invite all your family and friends, however you want to invite, and be like, watch party.
Exactly, all for $30, the price of like 2 tickets and a popcorn or whatever.
That's a good way to look at it. I'm surprised.
Like, the only thing I could really think of, that's like, because I mean, think about it, how they always show like the box ticket or whatever they call it, like how much money they say they made by just one weekend of putting it out in theaters. They'll be losing a lot by not doing that, and at least they're still giving us the entertainment value of watching the movie. There were some movies I wanted to see that were going to come out right when quarantine hit, and I'm going to have to still wait until theaters open up, even if I feel like, people aren't going to want to go to theaters anyway, so they know they're just going to continuously lose money to make it up somehow.
Something like this might be the wave for like streaming services for now. I'm surprised services like Netflix or Hulu didn't take up offers on like newly released movies and just be like, we're the exclusive. Like,
I was thinking that too. I felt like if anyone was going to do it, it would be Amazon. But also, there's other streaming services coming out like Peacock and.
That's true. Streaming services are popping now. I feel like that's one of the companies that's like been company markets. My bad. Company markets that's been growing recently.
Absolutely.
Kind of have to. Everybody's home.
Yeah.
Or should be home.
I forgot to mention. I watched Project Power with Neha like a week or 2 ago. It's the Jamie Foxx movie on Netflix. It's like basically if you take a pill. It's really good, bro. It's actually amazing, bro. At first, I was like, I don't know, do I trust this? But the story development is perfect, bro. And it's from start to finish. There's no filler. It's actually with no fillers. Like everything makes sense. Trust me.
Okay.
We all check that
I'm
out.
gonna check that out. I've been actually meaning to watch that. I saw the trailer for it one time. I was like, this looks like it's either gonna be very bad or it's gonna be like my new favorite like Netflix thing. So I can't wait.
They did an awesome job. I will say that. They did an awesome job. You got Machine Gun Kelly.
What?
Yeah, he's in the movie. He's the first person, and like he's one of the first characters, yo.
Acting now and everything, okay.
And okay, disclaimer: if I'm wrong and this man ain't actually Machine Gun Kelly, it's gotta be his twin brother. There's no way. Like when you guys see the movie, let me know because the man looks identical to him. If not,
all right, I will notify you about possibly not Machine Gun Kelly. I got you.
But yeah, that's the last thing I'll add. Final thoughts on the whole episode as a whole?
Fun as always, man. Always enjoying my time hanging out with my boys. And now that we got Next G in the cut on this one.
Always love to talk about myself. So anytime you give me a platform to talk about myself, brag about myself, not as always, it's just good hanging with you guys, man. It's been so long, especially with like all this stuff that's gone down this year. Hopefully we can hang out in person. We can have like one of the good old Westville times, man. But this was just such a blast. Honestly, I enjoyed myself so much. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for setting this up. And good luck to the rest of your podcast. Dan.
Thank you.
It's awesome. So,
yeah, this was not one of
summed it up with that one. So I'm gonna just say what Schron said. Yeah.
Yeah, this was definitely not one of the easiest episodes to set up. That's what I will say from the.
I blame Schron for that one.
Yeah, my bad. See, what happened was I got like a wisdom tooth pulled out.
Yeah.
And then I was going, then while I'm recovering from like my face being swollen, people want to like drag me to different places. So I just never had no time. Then I would look at my phone and I'd see like all your guys' text messages. I'm like, oh, crap, I should answer that tomorrow. I completely forget. So that's on me. That is on me.
Nah, it's all good though, cause like I set the date like that. I was like, okay, let me ask them for example, and then you said that, and that's like, there's nothing we can do. You gotta deal with that how you deal with that. So it's whatever. So, but as always, I appreciate you guys for being on the podcast. I really do. Thank you guys so much. It means a lot to me, and I had a good time talking with you guys. So,
Thanks for having us, man. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Without further ado, to those listening on SoundCloud, to those watching on YouTube, thank you for tuning in. Peace out.